Hey there, GoHuskies.com with Husky senior golfer Charlie Hughes. First of all, Charlie, congratulations. You guys are going to Tallahassee for the NCAA Regionals. When you heard that, what were your thoughts about heading there first?
I was shocked. I was surprised. We knew we were going to be a top seed, and you get sent to the closest regional normally, and so we figured we'd be one of the high seeds in the West, and we were thinking Eastern Washington at WSU's host course, or maybe Ohio, but all of a sudden Tallahassee came up. I was watching it online, and so that was kind of a shocker.
So you got your bug spray ready. You got your alligator bait. What are you bringing down there that's special?
I'll bring a really wide brimmed hat, a safari style hat maybe, sunscreen, and yeah, maybe I'll go to the pet store and get some sort of alligator protectant maybe. I don't know.
Alligator whistle or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, you guys, seriously, on all seriousness, you guys have played in that kind of environment before. You played in Georgia. Are you really glad now that you did that, considering that you're going to Florida to get used to those kinds of courses?
Yeah, one of the biggest challenges we had going to Georgia was just adjusting to the time zone. We only get 1 day of practice out there, and so I mean, if you're not adjusted right away, then you could be sluggish that first round, and some guys ended up napping in the afternoons that first trip to Georgia and staying up, even later. They couldn't fall asleep, and so our second trip to Georgia, we were able to kind of dial in our sleep and get acclimated to that. And so I know I'll be watching that kind of leading up to that trip. And then the experience playing on different grasses is also huge. It's going to be Bermuda down there and probably windy. And so we've played a lot in the wind this year. And so, I mean, our schedule I think has worked out well. And even though it's going to be a big trip, and a big day of travel, I think we'll be ready for the golf course.
Crazy for you to think that this is probably one of your last two college tournaments. This is your fourth NCAA regional you've been in, and hopefully your fourth NCAA or third NCAA championship. Has it hit you yet that of all that you've done while you've been here at the University of Washington?
Yeah, it certainly has. We run into donors and people all the time. They ask you what year you're in, and I mean, I stutter. I'm about to say freshman, and I catch myself, and obviously I'm a senior, and it's crazy. I don't know what the heck happened, but all of a sudden I'm in my senior year, and so Chris and I have actually talked about it quite a bit. It kind of hit us the middle of spring, and we looked at each other and said, look, we've only got a handful of tournaments here. And I thought we really prepared well for Pac-12s. We gave it all we had, and Cal, who won the conference, was a heck of a team, the best team in the country, and the conference championship, is a 6-count 5, and that deeper lineup favored them. But I mean, we understand the importance of these next two events, and we've got a great lineup, and so. It's hit us that this is our last shot at winning a national title, and our efforts are kind of 100% focused towards that, which there's obviously kind of some urgency and some pressure, realizing that you've only got a few weeks left, but it's pretty exciting knowing that you could go out as a senior as a national champion.
Now, you mentioned one of your senior buddies, Chris Williams. I know you guys are really tight.
Yeah.
What's it been like to watch him play, and what's he like as a person and as a teammate? Tell us about Chris a little bit.
As a golfer, it's been humbling to play with him. I mean, I feel like I've had some good stretches, and it's just kind of a reality check whenever you play with that guy, because you might go a week without getting paired with him in practice, and you think your game's pretty good, and it's just unbelievable how well that guy plays the game and how consistently he's on top of his game. Coach Lee really gives him a lot of props for always bringing it in practice, and I mean, it's amazing behind the scenes just to see how low that guy wants to shoot and how hard he competes. And so I mean, his golf game really blows you away. And the cool part is that, even though his game has, just skyrocketed since he came in here, when we're joking around off the course, I mean, that hasn't changed at all. And so, the guy plays the U.S. Open in the summer and stuff, but, you come back from class and it's the same dude, that's watching Seinfeld in The Office, and, you're still joking about the same stuff. So we've had a blast, and we've had a lot of good times practicing together, in crappy weather and stuff. So we spent a lot of time together, and it's been really enjoyable. So I think the program's really lucky to have him come here, and I think I feel like I'm even luckier to have spent 4 years with the guy.
Looking back at your years here, I mean, probably your most cherished thing is the friendships you've developed. But beyond that, what are a couple of the best moments that you've had here, you think?
Golf-wise, I mean, looking back, my winning the Pac-10 championship my freshman year was just something that was so special. We came back and beat Stanford that last day, and I keep in touch. Nick and Darren Wallace just made it through the first stage of U.S. Open qualifying. And I talked to those guys then, and so you keep in touch with these guys. Richard's on the PGA Tour, and when you check in with those guys, I mean, it just comes up, how awesome of a week that was, and for the rest of our lives, we're going to be able to say, that, we were the Pac-10 champions that week. And so that's something, right off the top of my head, I'll always look back on. And then, I mean, there's a whole bunch of other stuff that, I think every one of our wins, our team wins, has been really special. The first time I went down to Bend in Dunes was I was lucky enough to win there, and so I've been back for tournaments, and so that's a great memory. But then Coach Thurman has done an awesome job just keeping things fun. I might not have had the most fun off the course when I came in. I was I don't know, maybe reading books too much or something. But I feel like we've had just a ton of great experiences. Cornhole tournaments. We had the Husky Olympiad last Friday after a day of practice, and so I mean we've had these events. Coach will cook up breakfast for us. Here and there, do up a menu. He does it really professionally, and then all of these kind of outside events that the team gets involved in, going to Husky sporting events. There's just so many things that, you kind of sprinkle them in there in between tournaments and practices and stuff. But looking back over 4 years, I mean, we've done a bunch of crazy kind of goofy stuff, and at the time, it might seem a bit wacky, but it was a blast.
You epitomize the word student athlete. I think you've enjoyed the experience, or you've embraced it, and you've kind of taken it and you've ran with it, I guess, if you will. You've attended a lot of sporting events. I've seen you at different ones. I've seen you with your shirt off and letters painted on your chest. If you were to sum up or if you were to pick your favorite sports outside of Husky golf, what do you enjoy most going to, and who do you follow the most?
So I played basketball and volleyball in high school, and so, I mean, football is obvious. If you're into sports at all, you're going to be going to the football games. And so that was, something right away I knew I was going to go to. But I've been to so many basketball and volleyball games, and those have all been awesome. The Alaska Airlines Arena is just special. You get those purple seats, and you get, it's just like a sea of purple in there, and it's just one of the coolest feelings. You get the band going, and so anytime there's an event in that stadium, I love going. But holy cow, I've been to a ton of basketball and volleyball events. But I'd say some other sports that I was blown away with track. The track event, the first track event I went to was it was pretty chaotic. I had no idea all the events would be going on like that, so that was really cool. And then the beam in gymnastics kind of freaks me out every time I watch that. It's like the beam is the same width as a golf hole, and as I've missed a lot of putts, I know kind of how small the golf hole is. So all those have been really cool to go to for sure.
I know academics are pretty important to you, but I also know golf's pretty important to you. Next year, what are your plans? Are you going to focus on the golf world, or are you going to focus on the business world?
I think I'll end up in the business world. I think, amazingly, learning from Coach Thurmond and what he's done as a leader on this golf program, I think a lot of that stuff transfers over to business more than you'd think. The way he treats the donors, I mean, if you think of them as a customer, like it's the passion that he brings to that. There's just so many things that you can pick up on, and I mean, it's you've got guys like Richard Lee that make it right out on the PGA Tour, but at the same time, it's I'm gonna look at it kind of as a business decision, and I've got some good options kind of in the business world. My dad's got a little business back home, and so I've got to decide soon. I'm delaying the decision as much as possible, but I think I'll end up in the business world, and the things I've learned from this Husky golf program, I think are really gonna help whatever business I get involved in take off.
Well, in the meantime, you've got the NCAA regionals next Thursday through Saturday in Tallahassee, and then you got the NCAA championships in Atlanta, Georgia. Thanks for your time, Charlie, and good luck.
Go Dogs.